Stump Station, episode 11. And today's guest is the voice behind the brand that has built an incredible marketing agency here in Saudi Arabia. Not just teaching us about storytelling, branding, but helping huge companies grow even further with branding. And we're going to learn today how to do it ourselves, live in the flesh. This man is obsessed with work, but obsessed with a vision. And it's such a pleasure to have you here, Ameer.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So good to have you.
I'm super excited. This is going to be an incredible episode. I can promise you that, because I know people are not only looking for storytelling and personal branding, it's becoming a must. So it's not something you desire to have anymore. What's happening now, you have to build your personal brand, whether you like it or not, because everybody's looking now on all these different platforms and waiting to differentiate who you are. If you cannot differentiate who you are and show people the value you're providing, your growth is going to be pretty much non-existent. And nobody is looking for that, right? So everybody wants to grow, everybody wants to build a name, everybody wants to show the real, true value they're adding. And here in Saudi specifically, it's even to a whole different level, because every industry is developing and every industry has somebody who's leading it, whether it's marketing, architecture, building, construction, transportation, technology, fintech, AI. You go to any sector and you will say, wow, this is something incredible that's happening. And you will find a personal brand that's actually leading it. My passion is to show the world these incredible personal brands in Saudi Arabia. And that's why we built all the platforms we have built to highlight these personal brands.
Honestly, it's absolutely amazing. And I kind of wish that we recorded the pre-podcast before the podcast, right? We had an incredible chat beforehand, but it was kind of randomized. So hopefully we have more structure here for sure. But one thing you do is, like you said, help build that brand, help build identity, build that storytelling. And not only for companies, but also content creators can benefit from this just as much, right?
Absolutely.
But before we get into that, for people that don't know you, who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
I'm a person who is extremely passionate about beauty. And I believe the most beautiful thing in this life is God's creation, which is the humans. And I believe humans have the ability to go to literally whatever level they want to go to. And the beauty of personal branding is just showing that from a tactical point of view. The humans are extremely, extremely unique. And I know this from my background. I studied actually in health. So understanding the human body, the anatomy, all of that direction. Then my actual goal was to be a plastic surgeon, which was really about the beauty of the human body and the human actual vision. Then I realized the camera can do that in a much faster time and definitely a lot cheaper. And I can do it for a lot more people over time. Yeah. So the beauty of that is, if you can capture a moment with its beauty, this is literally a moment I remember of my childhood. My uncle showed me a picture of me and my cousin, and we were little babies. This is a picture of myself at a moment I can't remember myself. So I literally traveled in time, and he told me the story of that whole context. And that, from that moment, just stuck in my head. That photography is something I'm just in love with. And that when my love for, stories, my love for the details and the moments to be captured and to be shown in the most authentic way, basically started.
That's incredible. And that is a huge transition as well.
Of course.
To go from being a surgeon to now creating a huge marketing agency. How did that even start?
I think it started when I realized that that's not the world I want to continue in. I realized that there's so much stake when you're in the healthcare sector that it's somebody's life. But if I can use all of these skills and knowledge and tools that I'm learning, family dynamic, this is what I do with stakeholders management, the CEO, the CMO, whoever it is. We're sitting down, I'm seeing who's the decision maker. That's a skill exactly you do with family dynamics. Who's the decision maker? Who's the one who's making the money? Who's the one influencing the decisions to be made? That's one skill. Then we have something called ecosystem analysis for the patient. Who's supporting them? Who's stressing them? It's the same as a company or a founder.
Yeah.
He's a founder. There's stresses. Let's say funding, maybe team, maybe marketing. And there's support. He has, his advisory board, or he has his co-founders or investors, whatever it is. You see and you assess. It's the exact same skills. And in terms of the beauty, which was my actual outcome to reach, I realized in marketing, I can create an incredible picture, and I've done, and it will reach millions, if not billions around the world, showing a beautiful story, a beautiful image, a beautiful emotion, or a moment captured literally forever.
Yeah.
So for me, if I take a really nice picture of you and I give it to you, now the whole world is online, right? So there's a lot more people who's going to see your pictures than actually see your face in reality.
Yeah.
That's truth.
Yeah,
right?
sure, yeah.
So the future of, let's say, plastic surgery, which was my goal, is actually online. And I can do it for a lot more people.
Yeah.
Telling their stories, what they like, what they don't like, what they want to see, what they don't want to see, what they want people to see, what they want people to know about them. So for me, it's the exact same thing. It's just I'm using a different medium and definitely different set of skills. But the mindset and the actual value that I wanted to bring to the world is exactly the same. I wanted to show the beauty of God's creation, and that could be done in so many different ways. So throughout the way, I realized, and I went to McGill in Canada, I think it's number 1 this year in Canada as a university. And I realized that the impact of being in the industry of the healthcare or the impact of being in marketing is immeasurable. Like the difference between the two is just not even close at all.
No.
And even in the healthcare, we learned that the placebo effect, sometimes more than 50%.
Yeah, massively.
So if I can affect that from their image, their personal image, their self-image, and that was one of the things I really loved, sitting down with the patients and just talking to them, just asking them the questions and understanding exactly where's the stress, where's the support, what is the actual goal they want to achieve, what is the new reality they want to reach with their new health journey, right? So when you asking enough questions, seeing their goals, seeing their reality, seeing the obstacles, seeing the opportunities, what they will do, who they can ask, who they can help, that whole journey actually helps them heal just by having the conversation with them. Because somehow you have planted the seeds for them to think about a better future. And for me, that's what I really found. I was like, okay, if I can do this at a bigger scale, if I can do this not only at a bigger scale, but I can do this at a subtle level that people actually start thinking better of themselves, I have actually achieved the goal of what I believe is the goal of our existence, which is building humanity.
Yeah.
So that link made a perfect sense to me. And I can make a lot more money than doctors, that's for sure, in marketing. And that's something I didn't realize. So I remember in a conference, I will never forget this. It was a conference under the Undergraduate Society of Management, and it was like pension management programs. Everybody's showing their case, what they want to do. And I remember one of the cases was to buy clinics and invest money in them, hire the doctors. And you realize the doctors only make 30% of the revenues. I was like, okay, so that's the future?
Yeah.
I can just buy a clinic, hire all my friends, and make 70% of their money. A whole mind-blown moment for me at the moment. It's like, okay, so as much as I love the craftsmanship and the skill building and all of that time and energy you spend to become very skilled in what you do, I think when you go into the medical field, it becomes part of your DNA. So if you go to any other industry, they don't have the grit you have. They don't have sitting down. I can sit here for easily 24 hours, 48 hours just to get things done. You don't get that in any other field, at least to my knowledge.
I 100% agree.
But in the healthcare, you're sitting down, you have an exam in 6 months and you're studying now.
Yeah.
Because it's the Royal College exam and it's going to be extremely difficult for you to pass if you don't actually prepare and schedule your reviews. So for me, that's the philosophy. That's why I made the switch. I realized I can do a lot more finding beauty around the world, highlighting it, building a strategy around it. And I think every single human has the potential to have the most authentic personal brand that actually reaches the world. Because everyone has a gift, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the gift could be a result of the worst moment in your life, right? Yeah. You got into a moment, it was a disastrous moment, and after that, you started running away from it by doing everything that could potentially never get you there ever again. So that drive might not be the best drive in the world, but sometimes you forget about the drive, the initial drive, because it's like a snowball effect. And the snowball effect started with the trigger that you got at one point in your childhood or teenage years, whatever. And that snowball is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you just forgot what's the trigger. And now it's just your reality. You're rolling towards what you actually is passionate about and what you believe. And you just continue going there.
Man, that's so true. And like, that was a very in-depth part of
I
who
tried.
you are. And no, I absolutely love that. And I think people understand and see your passion for what you do more than anything. And I think people are going to benefit so much from what we're going to talk about because one, how passionate you are, two, your actual story. You know, that transition from becoming a doctor and then being like, no, I'm good. And there's, as easy as it sounds.
Not for me.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And there's one thing that's true. So when I was at uni, when we studied sports science at uni, we use the same labs as the medical students, right? But you see them, like you said, work. Like anyone that's got a medical degree, you have to realize how much they work. Like they will study for 14 hours a day for how many months, I don't know. Like I don't even know. Easily, like you said.
It's just a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's no longer something, and this is the beauty of it. It's no longer something you have to do. It's just something you do. And you become part of a community of people who just do that. Summer, you do that. Summer, you do internships. Summer, you do research. Summer, you do poster. Summer, you do internships. Whatever it is, you're just always on.
Yeah.
And that mindset, I believe, is the biggest advantage and the biggest thing I got from that field.
Oh, massively. And we've had conversations previously, not just today, and your work ethic is insane. Like, no, it's amazing. No, it's amazing. Like, when I say insane, I mean, I don't speak to a lot of people that can't switch off from what they do. And I love that. I love it. Like, I'm the same. That's all I talk about. That's all I do. Absolutely everything, all day, every day, because it's passion. But I think yours has come from that background of working hard towards something you're passionate about, but being, like I said, 14, 15, 16-hour days studying. And then when you just shift into marketing, oh, wow, look at that. Now you got a successful business because all you had to do is put in the hours and learn the skills.
Absolutely.
And I think...
And it's all about consistency.
Yeah.
Well, it's always consistency.
And one thing about consistency, right? And I always say this word about consistency as well. Consistency is important, but repetition is also key, right? It's like
Sure.
For yourself. Let's say you're trying to learn a skill when you're transitioning.
Yeah.
You working 14, 15-hour days, you're going to learn that skill much quicker than someone who's doing 3-4 hours a day.
You're going to make a lot more mistakes also.
And that's the way to be.
A lot faster.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot faster. I think a lot of people just think consistency means find the right formula, then repeatedly do it for a long time. It's not the right thing. So there's actually a living example of our YouTube channel, which started like a year and a bit of months, I think 14 months, something like that. And the first video is just terrible. But I knew it was terrible.
Yeah.
And I told the team, by the way, this is not going to be the first video we'll ever produce. But every week we publish a video and share it. Every single week since until this week. There's a video that's going to go out Wednesday, 2 days from now.
Yeah.
And it will stay consistently. But if you see the quality of the latest video versus the first one, it's two different worlds.
Yeah, true.
And the reality is, there's not fast transition. If you want to build something that lasts, right? You can get something really quickly, amazing, boom, boom, boom. That's fantastic. But how long can you keep up with it? This is a question is really, really important to anyone. And that's partially the success of any person or brand is what is the thing you can do consistently, not what's the thing you can do.
Yeah. When you say that, do you mean, say, the amount you post, the quality,
whatever it is, the kind of content you want to talk about, the kind of audience you want to meet, the kind of places you want to go, the kind of quality you can produce, whatever it is, can you consistently do that every single, whatever frequency you choose?
Yeah.
Right? You want to publish a video every month? That's fine. Can you do it really every month?
Yeah.
If you can't, then you better ask yourself a question. Why? Is it quality? Then you're probably tricking yourself. You should actually do it every month if that's the frequency you choose. And by the way, there's no real frequency that you should stick to. It's whatever you can do consistently. This is my philosophy. And I've done it with so many different influencers and personal brands and whatever it is. Whatever you can do consistently is what you should do. And it really, really, truly represents who you are. You're not trying to act to be a character who's not you, because you can't keep that act for so long.
When you said act for so long, do you mean who they're trying to, like, let's say, for example, someone that posts 3 times a day, 7 days a week, and they did that for 2 weeks? That's not them, right? That's not.
No, it's not about that. It's about their actual character. Meaning, if you're not funny, don't try to be funny.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
If you're not practical, don't try to give practical tips. If you're not, I don't know, whatever it is, if you try to act being something and you're not that, you're most likely not going to be able to be consistent with it and keep up with the act, because it's just not, it's not you.
Yeah. And I think that's a huge thing for people that are, whoever's creating content, a brand, if that's your identity as a brand, or even a content creator, because I've said this many times. So when I started TikTok, I went from 0 followers to 100K in less than 6 months.
Amazing.
And that's amazing. But I was talking about a topic that I didn't want to do. I was talking about Saudi, life in Saudi, and being, if I'm honest, the white guy in Saudi Arabia. And I actually hated it. Okay. Like, I chased the views. I made videos just for views. I made videos, and then after
How consistent were you?
I posted 3 times a day for 6 months.
Amazing.
But after 6 months, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Interesting.
I don't want to do, this isn't who I am. I want to talk about health. I want to talk about fitness. That's my life. But yeah.
And how did you do the transition?
Well, I stopped TikTok for a little bit. And I just posted on Instagram.
I see.
And now and then I go back. And the problem is like, people just knew me as one brand.
Doesn't
one
matter.
thing. And it kind of put me off. And
because you were still seeking that same number of followers, that same number of views, that same number.
And I think that's a huge mistake that brands and influencers make. You end up chasing.
Well, it depends, right?
If it's not your niche and if it's not something you want, then that's the issue.
No, but it's always a strategy talk before it's a content talk. And when you fix it or you change the point of view to like a business brand point of view, then now it's no longer a personal brand. There's no longer the authenticity arm that succeeds, right? So when it comes to business, you have a completely different trajectory and a completely different, let's say, sensors that you have to use. Because now, if you're a business brand, your benchmark is your 5 competitors and what they are doing. It's very different.
Yeah.
So the best 5 competitors for you as a brand is your actual benchmark, is your actual starting point. Are you going to be an average of some? Are you going to be 1 but X2, whatever they're doing? You choose. The market defines your existence in it because you're choosing something called positioning.
Yeah.
So I'm positioning myself. Let's say we have this bottle of water at 10 riyal and we have another one that's at 1 riyal and we have one at 5 riyal. Where do you want to be positioned?
Sure.
It's a choice that you have to make.
Yeah.
And that choice comes with an outcome that determines your content strategy, your marketing strategy, the kind of team, the kind of agency, the kind of everything.
Yeah.
You have to decide. So business is a bit different than person because person, you just have to go super authentic.
Yeah.
That's your core direction to actual success. Authenticity. Authenticity multiplied by consistency.
Yeah.
So you have these two, then because of these two, you have to find a platform that performs well with your authentic character, right? So some people are very good in front of the camera. I can give you my example, right? I'm very good on YouTube. My growth there is incredible. You see me on TikTok, I'm terrible.
Why?
Because the audience on TikTok are not my people.
True.
So every platform has a different audience, right? So TikTok, people want to explore things to do. That's exactly what is there. Now it's actually the first search engine for things to do is on TikTok. Want people on trends. So there's the trend. People go on TikTok to see what this trend is about. So it's the end now. It's what to do now. It's what's happening now. But if you want to learn, you're most likely not going to learn things on TikTok.
Yeah.
You're going to go to YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's the platform for teaching. That's the platform to actually give forms of education. If you want to go fashion, lifestyle, that's Instagram.
Yeah.
And the Instagram is about lifestyle and fashion, high-end photography, high-end production, advertisement, whatever you want to say. That's what Instagram is for.
Yeah.
Snapchat is for the daily.
Yeah.
The most authentic is the Snapchat. And it's the one that you have to really work really hard if you don't have a story. But if you have a story and your authentic character is just amazing with personalities around you that complete the social show you will create, it will do very well on Snapchat. And the best accounts are the accounts with let's call them social shows.
Yeah.
There's a couple of characters and everyone is coming with their part of it. And you could be a personal brand with a couple of people around you, and each one acts as a character in your social show.
Yeah.
So it's depending on your strategy as a business. Business is very different than personal brands. But the cool element, which has been successful, is you build a personal brand that's so strong in your niche, then you build a business brand. So you sell that product to people. And it's a good product that competes with the competitors in the market.
Yeah.
So, and I always say for businesses, it's 3 things. It's customer experience. That's a very important thing that you need to benchmark with your competitors. It's your marketing actual strategy and your marketing plan. And the last and the least is the market itself. Are you in a market that's growing or a market that's going down?
Yeah.
If you have the 3 on your side, you're doing good marketing, your customer experience is up to the competitors or better, and you have good marketing, you're in a good direction. Most of the time you have 2 of the 3 and you'll be fine. But if you have 1, you better close. Really. If you have terrible customer experience and no marketing, you better close.
Yeah.
If the market is going down and you have no marketing or customer experience, you're going to go out of the market.
I wrote that down because for me, when you break it down into those 3 areas, it makes you truly think about your brand or the business, especially for myself, right? I'm like, right, now when you're just focused on 3 areas, everything pillars out.
Absolutely.
So then you're like, right, even if one of the pillars coming out is slightly off, it just means, say, the customer experience, right? Just taking that as an example. Some things might be great about it, but what things aren't? How can you make it better?
Exactly.
And
absolutely.
So yeah, no, I definitely write that down to always remember to always keep growing. And I think as a business, you have to keep growing. Yeah,
you have to keep benchmarking with your competitors, because no matter how good you are, especially in the Saudi market, I think this is something really, really important to understand. The Saudi market is a developing market. What does that mean? Every brand is seeking growth. Every brand has the potential to have an investment. Every brand has the potential to become a regional brand. And every brand has the potential to be bought out.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever place you have in the market, it's very, very, very dangerously risky to keep staying there. So every brand that's doing really well, it's usually innovating all the time, either in their customer experience or in their marketing or in their positioning in the marketplace. So maybe they're not that niche. They're going a little bit higher. They're targeting a higher segment. They're increasing their prices. The demand is too high, so let's put it up, so reduce the demand.
Yeah.
So you have to think of it from that economical point of view, supply and demand, when you go into pricing, because a lot of services are price sensitive, and you have to very, very much understand who are your competitors in that price point. And are you giving a better experience than them or lower?
Yeah.
Because generally, at a global level, people are becoming very price sensitive.
Yeah.
And we have actually a good example here now in the travel industry. WestJet in Abu Dhabi. One of the most successful, I think, Airlines.
Yeah.
Wizz Airline.
Yeah.
Wizz Airline. So they're leaving Abu Dhabi because the only thing they brought is price in a market that really cares about customer experience.
So it just doesn't work, yeah?
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And even it's working historically, did amazing in Europe because people are very price sensitive. They don't care about the experience. They just want to get from A to B. The GCC market really, really focuses on, am I getting the best experience for the money I'm paying? And if the money is too low for the experience that I'm getting, I'd rather not do that.
Wait, so you said if the money's too low for a good experience?
No, it's not. It's not going to be a good experience.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, they associate a low price with that experience
automatically. And if they try it and the experience is bad, it's a confirmation bias.
Yeah, true.
Oh, it's too cheap to be good anyways. I'll never do this again.
Yeah.
So people will still pay
for
for a good experience. And no matter what, if you just come in with price, you'll get out of the market. Always. If the only thing that differentiates you is your price, you're going to get out of the market.
That's so true. And that's something that I'm learning a lot of is, you know, we've discussed about what I do and everything previously, right? And we, even now, being a business owner for over a year, I was like, now you've got a team around you. It's like, same thing of what you just said. What I've been working on recently, we did marketing a bit, but now it's the customer service. We've increased the value. We've done a lot more. Amazing. And the experience is better, right?
Nice.
And it's good, but then I'm like, right, it can still be better in other ways. And even if people are happy, getting results and everything, you're like, you
Nice.
have to be constantly thinking of that next step to make it more valuable.
100% compared to your competitors.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you always have to have a direction,
Mm.
right? We said the market direction is very important, right? So there's the customer experience, there's the marketing, but the market direction is very important. Meaning if the market all of a sudden is dropping prices, you can't do anything but drop the prices.
Yeah, that's true.
If the market is moving from one kind of service to another, you just have to basically do that.
Yeah, true.
Right? And in the way, the good marketers are the people who are doing good market research. So there's sales at the bottom and there's marketing at the top. So the journey is taking someone from not knowing you at the awareness level, right? So no idea who you are, to brand recognition. Oh, what is that logo? Right? Who is that person? What is that face? To, considering what do they actually sell? Let me have a conversation with them, right? You move into the consideration phase. Then you go into the intent. Oh, maybe I will consider that product. At this journey from consideration to intent to conversion, all that's happening in the consumer's mind is finding alternatives that gives me the same value at the same price. So they might not think of you at the awareness level. You might get really good awareness, right? To say you spend 100,000 riyals in a month just for awareness, you'll get a lot of people to recognize who you are. But when they move down the funnel, you have to also make sure your competitiveness, right? Your competitive advantage is also similar to the competitors. So I can actually make a decision based on, he's going to give me X amount of value versus what that company is going to give me for the same amount of money. So a lot of marketers don't think of that decision making. I think it's called consumer decision journey. The CDJ. Yes. The consumer decision journey. How is that decision journey actually happening now? Who are they comparing me to? Is this the right time for me to sell my product? The seasonality comes into it. Is everybody doing offers on the service that I'm offering? And now it's in the market at a much lower price, right? So that is usually at the research part. And people always talk about the conversion part. Yeah.
I think the hardest part, especially with brands and companies when it comes to that, because as a company, you're like, I need profit, I need money to do it. So that's why they go straight to conversion, straight to sales, straight to that, because they're like, I need the outcome to, one, survive, but also make profit and grow.
But you don't build.
You don't build from there, yeah.
You don't build a brand.
Yeah.
You might convert the first time.
Yeah.
But you will never convert again.
Yeah.
And what will happen later, because of that mathematical relationship that you build in terms of conversion rate, customer acquisition cost, lifetime value, all of these things, they will tell you a lot in marketing and in sales. But the truth is, are you building a brand that people actually love? Are you building a brand that people are actually proud to be part of? I always love to say this, because if you are working in a brand you're not proud of, you're not going to do the extra mile, right? If you are buying a product and you're not proud of buying this product, there's a very high chance that you're not going to buy it again.
Yeah.
So how can you create people who are proud to be part of your story?
Yeah.
Proud of the value system that your brand carries. Yeah. That is something you build over time. You get the knowledge for people to know. That's the awareness kind of knowledge. Then you give people the knowledge that people will actually like. Now you're going more into the human conversation. Do I like this person? Because there's, do I like this content versus do I like this person versus do I trust this person?
So different.
These are three different levels of content, and you really have to think from that point of view.
Yeah.
I know you, I like you, I trust you. Then I go into actually buying from you. A lot of people just do, I want a lot of views. Then all of their content is as many views as possible. Nobody likes them. Really?
Yeah, it's true though, yeah.
The content goes viral and people have fights in the comment section and do all of that. But does it really create their personal brand?
Yeah.
I really don't think so.
And I think the hardest thing is, especially when, like, right at the moment, I'm trying to learn a lot about this, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely going to watch this podcast back because I can't take notes at the same time.
Oh, good.
But honestly, there's so much value as a business owner because we're told so many times how to get hooks, how to get people's attention. And unfortunately, negativity is a huge way to hook people.
Of course.
But there's ways to go about it without creating negative comments or even distrust. You know, you've got to go about it. So something that you are a big believer in when you work with a company is, like you said, you got to know exactly what you want. There's got to be strategy, but you love to create a story when you're marketing.
Always.
This is a very hard question, but how does a brand that's just starting or a content creator just starting truly transition into just creating a full story, not just in one post, but as a whole brand? Because that's so hard, surely.
No, you have to create the journey of your brand user, right? What's the benefit? I really like to first, before I get into the storytelling aspect, to actually talk about strategic communication, because that's the base of storytelling. So the strategic communication base is the HHH, which means talk to the heart, then talk to the hands, then talk to the head. Heart, hands, head. So when I talk to you, the first thing I need to say is to actually get your attention, right? The best attention I can get from you is attention that actually goes to your heart, right? Something that actually gets to what is actually important to you. Do you want to become a successful entrepreneur? What does it mean for you to become a successful entrepreneur? I met an entrepreneur who thinks he's really, really successful, but in reality, they're not.
Yeah.
So that is all heart conversation. So you always have to start with the heart conversation first. Get to the heart, get to the emotion. If I don't get you to feel anything as I'm talking to you, I have failed, no matter what I've said. So that's the heart.
Yeah.
Then we go to the hand or the hands.
Yeah.
The hands is, okay, so in order to become a successful entrepreneur, you need to do 1, 2, 3. You need to execute 1, 2, 3. Here's the methodology. Here's the framework. Here's the steps that you need to follow in order to do 1, 2, 3. You have a goal that you want to achieve, right? I like the GROW method. I always say it, which is goals, obstacles, opportunities, reality, and what will you do and who can help you. To GROW, it's one of the oldest methods that you can think of. I like it because it really shows you how you can actually craft a story. A story has a goal, right? There is a reality, and there's an opportunity or an obstacle for the hero, and there's what they will do and what will, be there or who will be there to help them. Very simple 4 steps.
Yeah.
Another way is also place and time, people, events, and the resolution or the actual message. Very structured, very simple method to tell any story. Once upon a time, I was in Montreal. It was 2008, and it was late. It was snowing. I really, really didn't want to go do my exam. That's place and time.
And the thing is, you're painting a picture through vision. I know you're talking, but that's what you've got to do with your content, right? You got to paint that picture just from the visual, but make them think.
Make them live.
Yeah.
A story is something you live. You take me through time. You throw me somewhere. You bring me into a whole new environment. I can go deeper. And I just left my apartment. It was 10 p.m. I was late. I was supposed to be there for 9. I went to Tim Hortons. I had a really nice cup of coffee. I really needed it because it was snowing. I just got you into the character now. Right? This is me in the snow, wearing my jacket. It was windy. I got into the whole character and the struggle of the character at the moment. And suddenly, now we move to the event, right? The third. Suddenly, my friend calls me and he's like, Ameer, I'm downstairs. Let's go have dinner. I don't have to walk to the restaurant. He picked me up and we went to the restaurant. Now, as and we in the way, there was some black ice. That's an event that happened to us. So I got into the car. There's a black ice. The car slid and we had an accident. Now I wish I went walking to the restaurant.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the resolution. It could be a joke. It could be, it was a really bad thing. We went to the hospital and we helped this and this and that.
Yeah.
So that framework for storytelling is very simple. But the true essence of the story is the HHH. That detail of time and place, I need to get you to feel something. Right? When I get you to the character, again, I need you to feel something. Then what happened? Then the logic comes at the end.
So how do you do that differently from a content creator point of view and a brand? Because that's surely different.
Absolutely. A content creator is developing.
Yeah.
Which is a lot better.
Yeah.
right? So you could have a painting of a tree, or you could have a tree, right? The painting of the tree is the business brand, unless you do brand development and you change what's the brand. But a personal brand is the tree. It's going to change, but it's going to be the same tree. It's going to go bigger, it's going to go smaller, it's going to have issues, and that's the truth. That's the authenticity part. A lot of people take the personal brand like the painting. This is who I am, this is what I do, this is exactly the kind of content I do, and they just keep it consistent. It's inhumane. To always look the same and always do the same and always say the same, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
There's no human inconsistency in what you're doing. You look like a robot. You look like a business brand.
Yeah.
And that pushes away people who would like to like you, but they end up just knowing you. Because you're pushing back from the liking. Oh, he's relatable. No, he's not relatable. He's relatable. No, he's not relatable, or she's not relatable, whatever. But a business brand, it's a painting on the wall. You take a picture from the right, take a picture from the left, take a picture on the day, you take a picture of the night. You find a different lens, different lighting, different whatever to show the value of the painting on the wall. Because that's the real value of it.
Yeah.
But as a human, it's way beyond.
Yeah.
It's way beyond a picture that you draw. Like I say, a beautiful painting of a human is nothing close to a human.
Yeah. And I think going back to what you said before about building trust, because I think building trust as a brand as well is very different to a content creator.
Of course.
So, for example, as a content creator, like you said, it's being authentic, being yourself, being someone that's just who you are, right?
Absolutely.
But building a brand, how can you actually build trust by being authentic, but not showing just a personality in terms of like a content creator would? How's that different?
I think these two different brands serves completely different needs, right? A business brand usually serves one of three things. There's a desire that I want to achieve. I can get it through your product. There's a hurdle or a barrier or something difficult, and your brand removes it away. Heroin versus Panadol, right? One gets you to be addicted to it because you actually get a desire to feel really good. And the Panadol is going to actually move away your headache, right? So these are two different kinds of brands. The third one is something, let's say, is it the third one or it's something in between? Because there's a desire and there's a need, right? It's a lot more core. A need is something you cannot live without. In Saudi, you can't live without air conditioning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was going to something like this. So if you're a company that sells air conditioning in Saudi, your marketing is going to be very different in Saudi than if you're in China or any other place that just has better weather, I assume.
Yeah.
And maybe I should say in Riyadh, because
true.
Asir is definitely better weather than here. But the reality is, what I'm trying to say is, any product with a business brand is doing one of three things: giving you a desire that you want, removing a burden on you, or giving you a need that you cannot live without. And that is a very specific thing that you can market. In a personal brand, it's a lot more, let's say, it's a river that people can drink from, right? So, and that river has a specific direction. You cannot really change it. There's a lot more sometimes water. There's less water in the river, but the kind of water and the kind of life in this weather, the river is the same. And it's always moving, which means you will never see the same drop of water ever again. There's a continuity.
Yeah.
If the rain has more sand or has more trees or has more whatever, the water is going to change. The content is going to change. The direction is the same. The flow could change. But I know for a fact if I go there, there will be water going from right to left.
Yeah.
So that is what a personal brand is about. And as it moves, it will change the things around it. It will change the rocks under it. It's alive. So a brand that doesn't have continuity is, at least a personal brand, there's an issue. I don't see continuity between things, right? There's an issue that you see the videos, you need to have some relevance. You're in fitness, so I need to see relevance throughout the whole account. Is it fitness in Saudi? Fitness in Saudi, CrossFit? What is the relevance of everything? So that gets me to move from top to down. Okay, I'll give you an example. What's the biggest and the I think the fastest growing accounts now on Instagram, on social media generally, it's people who are doing renovations
Really?
for
Wow.
cars, for
Yeah.
homes. Why?
Is it because you see the before and after? You see...
It's the whole journey.
Yeah.
Sometimes they build the account just for this journey.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally, I bought a Tesla. I'm going to turn it to this, right? Follow me for all of the videos that are coming.
Like, I see a lot of accounts now that will do a business challenge, for example. They'll work in a certain industry to save a certain amount of money to achieve something else.
Yeah.
And there's just a day-by-day life of that. And these accounts
Social show.
grow massively because every day you're like, okay, how much is he going to get today to save for this? One guy's doing it to buy his mom a car. One guy's doing it to get a house, whatever it may be, right?
Nice, yeah.
But it's that daily...
Continuity.
Yeah.
That's a continuity. But everything is changing every day.
Yeah.
But the direction of the water is the same.
So...
They all want to get that,
Mm.
right? And now they're telling you what's happening today, right? Oh, there's new water today. Oh, there's a salmon fish. There's a frog or whatever it is. It's the same image technically.
Yeah.
But every day there's something that's happening and going from right to left. So personal brands have to think with that perspective. There's always something that's going towards the direction they promise their audience, whatever that promise they're making for their audience. Healthier lifestyle. Let's do yours.
Yeah.
Why not? So you're promising people a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right? So here's 365 tips that I'm going to share with you throughout this year. And I promise you, by the end of the 365 days, you would have actually had a better life. Watch them and see what happens. And every day you will actually post one.
Yeah.
Tip number 20, tip number 50, tip number 75. The beauty of this, and this is what I really believe, you had an intention. That intention gave you this promise that you want to tell people, right?
Yeah.
The promise that you want people to achieve. 365 days of healthier body, right?
Yeah.
Now, from the intention to the actual goal, you will gain a lot of knowledge and a lot of skills that will serve you to achieve that.
Yeah.
So by default, you're developing yourself. Default, not even a question.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What am I going to say today? What am I going to say the day after? What's the content I'm going to be? How can I shoot it? Where am I going to be shooting it? And you end up with focusing on the knowledge and the skills a lot more than if you didn't have that promise that you wanted to achieve. And you will see the content first day versus 365, completely different quality, completely different production value, let alone the quality of the actual visuals.
Yeah.
But the way you will be presenting will be better.
True.
Because you stayed consistent for 365 days doing the same thing with the same intention and the same goal. So any personal brand that wants to build something of value, they really have to have a promise and an intention. And the gap in between is what you're going to actually execute the whole time. And you will do it because you promised yourself, not because you're promising people. Here's how I'm going to be X and Y and Z. Those are the most successful accounts online. Here's how I'm going to do this. And I'm going to show you every day the progress notes for it.
Yeah.
I think some guy has an apartment or a house in the middle of a forest that he bought. Yeah. He bought it for like 5,000 euros.
I know the guy.
Right?
And he's renovating it, trying to change it.
And the neighbors are coming, and it's raining today, and tomorrow his girlfriend is coming. It's like a whole show out of one phone.
Yeah.
The whole time.
And it's his phone, right? He doesn't use any
Nothing.
high quality technology.
Nothing. But he's telling a story.
I don't think I've seen. I don't remember. I don't think I've seen his face.
No. He put his face.
He did put his face. Okay, the clips I've seen, I've not seen his face, but
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
You will know the story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what matters. There's a promise, there's an intention, and there's knowledge and skills that he has to basically acquire throughout the whole journey. And whatever the journey, you can actually do one every week. You can do one every month. You can do one every quarter. You can do one every year. It doesn't matter. Like if you don't want to destroy yourself, you can do every month a challenge.
Yeah.
And that challenge is going to be X and Y and Z. 30 days doing, push-ups.
And I think that's what went viral on social media, about 3-4 months ago, I think. 30-day challenges went massive.
Of course.
It was massive. Like everyone was doing a 30-day challenge and the counts grew. And they still are.
That's before summer.
Yeah.
right? So timing.
Yeah.
And that's a very important thing. If anyone gets anything from this episode,
Yeah.
it's find the right time for whatever you're going to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because sometimes people fool themselves doing the right thing at the wrong time and they think they didn't do well.
How do you know? How do you know, for example?
Competitors analysis.
So, like, for example, let's say you have a great idea as a brand or as a content creator, whatever, for example, and you think this is going to go so well and it flops, whatever reason. But how do you know the idea itself was a bad idea? If
No,
you're just...
I don't believe in originality anymore. I don't think there's original ideas anymore. And if you come up with an original idea, I think you're brilliant, but there's a really high chance that it's not going to do well. Because there's a lot, of...
It's true, though.
It
Now
is.
you've said it, even if you think about whatever, whatever you're in, whatever industry you're in, you can really think. It's really hard to think of a brand new, even...
No, I think it's egotistic.
Mm.
You're full of ego if you think you have original ideas all the time. Who the heck do you think you are?
Yeah, true.
It's not a reality. The reality is there is a benchmark. There's somebody who successfully did something. Why you want to reinvent the wheel?
Yeah, true.
There's absolutely no point of that.
Yeah.
And usually people who do that, they're just full of ego.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do them well.
And I think everyone, as a brand or content creator, has to go through that. I went through that for sure, right? Like being like, I've got to be different. And I think there's what people
Misunderstanding.
get wrong. Yeah, there's a misunderstanding between being authentic and thinking of an original idea. Because being original, people think, oh, I've got to be original, I've got to stand out, whatever. No, that's being authentic. But not trying to think of a brand new idea that is different.
No, I think that we have to clarify something here very, very, very well. Authenticity is a personal thing.
Yeah.
It's like originality.
Yeah.
Right? Every human is original. Whether you agree or not, it's your problem.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Everyone is different entirely.
Everybody is different, no matter what. Even if all plastic surgeries make people look alike now.
Yeah.
But it's still, everybody is unique. The way they talk, the way they see the world, the way they communicate, their perspective, right? So even if we're looking at the same water bottle, you definitely don't see the same thing I see. And it's the same in everything else in our life. So when it's a personal brand, I think it's really, really important to not look at other people. Because you need to be authentic, right? What am I aligned with saying at the moment that really represent who I am? And even in the future, my children or my grandchildren will look at this episode and say, wow, that was actually him. Versus someone else who's like, oh, that's not him. He doesn't talk like that. That's not his way of presenting his ideas, because he's trying to act and be a certain personality. So that is for personal brands. Now, when it comes to business, it's not about you. It's about the market.
Yeah. And I think that's the hardest thing for people to realize is, you can have something, an idea, a product, whatever, but you need to first look at the customer and be like, the need. Well, that's it. Nothing else matters but that. So everything else has to be around it. Otherwise, whatever ideas you have, I think is pointless unless you're just you have to supply that need first.
I think this brings me to a really important discussion that always happens between marketing and sales. Because these are two different departments. Usually when it's a startup, and this is what I've seen a lot, it's the same team who's doing sales and marketing. And usually, sales and marketing are very different people. Like, take the job, make it a human, right? That's how I like to do things, because sometimes when we think of a job description, we really forget the human behind it. But a salesperson is somebody who wants, here's a bottle of water, it's 1 riyal. If I sell 10,000 of it, I'm going to make 10,000 riyal.
Yeah.
Period. I want to make 100,000, I need to sell 100,000, right? A marketeer is like, okay, what kind of label can I put on this? Where can I sell it? Right? The 4 Ps, right? Price, promotion, and place, and product. So this is product. Can I put a nice label on it and put it in the airport and sell it for 10? That's a marketeer.
Yeah, true.
Right? So the sales is just, what's my target for this month? How can I close it the fastest way possible? A marketeer is, how can I increase the value of the product and make people perceive it more valuable so I can make more money per product? So when it's the same entity, they always have this fight. And a lot of entrepreneurs at the beginning, they have this issue where they're fighting, should I add more features so I increase my price? Or should I sell whatever I have and get the most amount of people? That is usually the biggest challenge. And they try to play around the two a lot, and they end up basically losing their positioning in the market. Because the positioning is based on your product perceived value, right? And who you compare yourself to others. But if you position yourself in the higher end, the demand is not going to be as high, and the competition is going to be higher, and the expectations are going to be higher. Versus you go into volume sales and you just want to get a much.
Do you think it's a seesaw effect of like trying to find that equilibrium of both? Like, so 1 minute you got to create an incredible service, then whatever it may be.
Incredible service is a must.
Yeah. So let's say you start there. Obviously, you start there.
Okay.
Then you sell it. But as the sales grow, you're focused here. Then you're like, right, I need to make the value more again. And I feel like it is that if you're not constantly trying to add more value over time, eventually this will drop.
Why?
Because, okay, that's a good question. I don't know if you...
Because competitors are watching.
True.
Everybody's watching. What people forget is, like, you don't own your client.
Yeah.
You own nothing. All you own is the value exchange. And if somebody can exchange the value at a higher price because they have a better perceived value, they will take the client.
Yeah.
We live in a time now where people making a lot more impulse purchases than planned purchases. What does that mean? If I perceive what you offer me more valuable than the money you're asking for, I'm going to make the decision and buy. As simple as that. It's a perceived value versus real value.
Yeah.
So marketing wins here a lot.
Yeah.
But what happens, and this is what a lot of people forget, is, okay, you got me in your marketing. First time I bought it, nice. Second time bought it, I got used to the features. I got used to the value you are giving me. A competitor comes, sees what you're giving, gives the same, a little bit more, at a lower price, and you take the client.
Yeah, true. And so this is a personal question for me, right, when it comes to business, because what I've experienced, the same thing. Like, I did a service for about 9-10 months, and I was like, this is good.
Okay.
Now I have to upgrade, and I did some things.
Nice.
But one thing I found, I always say this to everyone, I want to work with you for 6 months. My goal is that I want to teach you to the point that you don't need me. Some people stay,
okay,
and that's fine.
You fire your clients.
Not fire, but like, I say that because I want to teach you enough about changing lifestyles and adaptations that you don't need a coach forever.
Amazing.
Right? That's the goal. Some people stay, and some people even come back. And there was this one girl I worked with, incredible. She did great. In Saudi, it's really hard to post transformations of women, but it's okay.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah. And so she did amazing. She lost 9 kilos in 6 months. She did amazing. She was very happy. And I said, look, you've done a great job. You know, if we want to go forward, this would be great. She's like, I feel like I'm doing really well. I want to continue on my own and see how it goes. Cool. I respect it, loved it, because I did what I wanted to do.
Nice.
2 months later, she maintained what she did, but didn't make any more progress. She called me back up and said, I want to continue.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I said, my first question was, of course, what made you come back to me?
Okay.
Because I want to know, what are we doing that made you not even think about someone else?
Okay.
Because obviously there's other coaches out there. That's
a sales conversation, right?
Yes.
You always have to think, the problem with sales conversations, it always brings down your value because you're customizing your offer. So that is also part of the battle between the sales and the marketing. The sales, they will tell you, I know the client. I know exactly what they want. They want this feature. Don't give me 10 and increase the price. They want this specific thing.
Yeah.
What happens when the feedback of sales, and that's why you always need to create a client manager, like an account manager, who is actually communicating with your clients and linking sales and marketing.
Yeah.
Because marketing's job really is understanding what's going on in the market. They should know that a competitor is entering the market and offering something similar to yours. So you make the changes before they even launch the product to the market and start taking your clients.
Yeah.
And the sales team should have that relationship with the buyers and know exactly how the supply and the demand is increasing and decreasing.
Yeah.
Because usually what you do in marketing, most businesses at least, what you do in marketing now reflects on your sales in 3 months.
Yes.
So you're working really hard, let's say social media marketing, paid media, whatever it is. In 3 months' time, you will actually have, let's say, the actual conversions that were created from awareness to consideration to conversion to actually being a client.
That's true. And I think just because I know I use that as an example, the reason, like, I want to just say the reason why I asked is because whatever she said, I wanted to make even more. Do you know what I mean? Because,
so she believes you can help her.
Exactly. So I said that to her, like, whatever you, when she asked the question, I was like, good, because I want to expand. I want to make things even better than what you've done. So it was, yes.
Here you have an opportunity where that client can bring you more clients.
Yeah.
And increase your price 40% and you will still buy.
Yeah.
So referral clients, you can actually charge 40% more.
Referral clients, you had 40% more?
Yes. Because they come from trust immediately.
Damn. So I got taught, but man, this is blowing my mind because normally I got taught, I might be taught wrong, that's why I'm asking you. It's kind of the opposite. Like with referrals, you're like, hey, if you refer someone, they get a discount because it's a referral.
No, they get a discount, but the new client doesn't.
Yeah. So the new client is more.
Yeah, you should increase.
But what if they know the prices?
My philosophy for a service providers, whatever service, every client has to be 10% higher than the client after. Because you should be giving 10 to 20 to 30% more value to every new client because you've learned from the client before.
But this is a hard thing in terms of, with you work with huge clients, huge things, and you don't have, I don't think you have hundreds of clients, right?
No, you're not supposed to have hundreds of clients.
But like, obviously, let's say a gym, as an example, they're going to have hundreds of clients.
No, but a gym is different.
Yeah. So the reason
a gym is access business,
yeah, true.
Right? Yeah. So our access business is not about the quality of the experience at the place, because 80% of those who buy access never come back to access the place, right? So gyms is a very different business model, and marketing it is pretty much purely on impulse purchases at specific seasons. Yeah, after Ramadan, a new year, a new me, all of these kind of peaks of people wanting to make a change in their life. And personally, I don't think it's the right way, but that's how the industry works, and that's how you make money. Yeah. It's access. It's very different than when you have a coaching business and you're actually dealing one-to-one with people.
Yeah, true.
Right? It's a completely different world. So gyms and access and big numbers, that is more marketing in terms of how can I show you that I'm giving you a 60% discount. In reality, it's the same price, right? I just increased my price over the past 5 years and now I give you 50%, right? That is a completely different business model. And I don't think it's applicable anywhere else except in gyms.
The only reason why I gave that example, probably a terrible example, by the way.
It's okay. I mean,
yeah.
It's my world. Like, literally anything I will deal with.
It was a terrible example, but I meant like comparing the amount of clients you work with, the amount I work with is very different. I'm working with more with obviously a much lower price compared to what you're probably doing. Okay. And as a result, that 10% increase, I think, is a significant amount. If you're signing
10%. Everybody's paying 15% for taxes.
No, of course. Yeah. True.
So I personally believe if any offer you ever sent, add 20% on it, same client will accept it.
So like, let's say whatever service it is, and it's gone incredibly well, you can add 20%.
Easily.
How often do you do that?
Until the client doesn't accept it anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair way to say it. Yeah. I love that. And for you as a business, right? I know we're going into your business side.
Sure.
Obviously, there's offers throughout the year. There's whatever. Do you do anything like that in your industry when it comes to, say, offers? When it comes to never. Do you think it devalues your service?
No, but it's just the service is very customized.
Yeah.
It's very, very customized. And it varies in reach, it varies in value, it varies on platforms, it varies on seasonalities, it varies. Some of the pricing is not even dependent on us because let's say we're doing media buying, right? So it's the cost of LinkedIn, Google Maps, whatever platform that we're doing the ads on, we are just managing the campaign, making sure the campaign is doing really well on the right platforms with the right cost per click or customer acquisition cost, whatever platform that you're using. So maybe depending, There's no actual value that is fixed. So you want me to build a website, right? You need to build a website. The website has to be X and Y and Z. There's a lot of features that you want. There's a design element that's going to be in. There's a brand story that you want to tell. There's a lot of creativity that's coming into it. And a client usually comes because they want a full solution. They want a full, amazing customer experience from the moment they look at the ad to the moment, they render the service. And that journey is what we take care of. So how are they going to see the ad? What is the positioning that we want to be? That is determined by the quality of the ad. Where it is, the time it's ran, all of that, all the way to their final touch at the brand, whatever the brand is doing. So when you break down that customer experience or the whole journey and you're optimizing every single touch point, that is very different between clients. They could be in the same industry, but they have different goals. They want awareness, no problem, let's do an awareness campaign. They want consideration, okay, so let's do a consideration campaign. They want conversion, conversion, do you have an awareness campaign? Because if you just want conversion, I don't work with them at all. Because it's always disappointing.
Oh, really?
Always disappointing. A conversion campaign pure is always disappointing in answers because the conversion campaigns always cost 3 to 4, sometimes 5 times per click.
Yeah.
So it's not justifiable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to manage. I need 70% here, 20% here, 10% here. And the duration. What's the duration of the campaign? Where do you want to go with it? There's so many different customization that needs to be put in place. So offers is never a good idea, in my opinion.
Okay.
So the same value you're going to give me at a cheaper price, why?
Yeah.
I just don't believe in that.
I think the hardest thing for me is because as a business owner, you learn, right? Like for me, the first mentor I got said the same thing as you. Your price is your price. They increase over time, right? That's what I got to talk. Then over time, like you do a new course, a new mentor, you're learning from people. Their approach is very different, right? There's seasons in the like you said, there's seasons in the fitness industry, right? If you're a coach, for here, Ramadan, New Year, there should be...
Yeah, you have a calendar. You should have a calendar.
But then they're like, you should be giving discounts or stuff or offers, things like that, right? But then I'm like...
Yes, you can do that, but this means you haven't strived to be the best you could ever be.
Yeah.
I read a book, it's called So Good They Can't Ignore You.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've not read it, but I've heard of it.
You have to be so good that they cannot ignore your existence in the market, even as a client.
Yeah.
If you focus on that, and that's what I really love, that mindset makes sure that you become the best you could ever be. By becoming the best you could ever be, you can price whatever you want. And that's my dad's advice.
Yeah.
It's like my son, obviously in Arabic, you could be a baker, making bread and making millions. Why? Because you're the best person to make that kind of bread in the world. It doesn't matter what you do. And I believe that's partially why it was easy for me to say goodbye to the medical field and just go do what I believe, because I could be the best I could ever be there. Yeah. Same mindset, same idea, same vision, but I know my value there is going to be a lot higher.
This mindset is rare, by the way.
But for me, it's the right mindset to think.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
Can you be better?
Yeah.
The answer is always yes.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
That's how you start thinking about the knowledge and the skills you need to acquire.
And for yourself, for someone that would love this mindset when they go into entrepreneurship, when they start a business, they need to have this. But how did you go about this yourself? Have you always had that, wanting to be better?
I just always loved learning since childhood. I was the first in physics in my province. Then it is just me loving to learn, because I realized, and that's maybe a message from my mom. She told me, Ameer, nobody's going to give you anything except your knowledge. And that was from a very young age. I don't come from a rich family or any of that. My mom was very clear for me. She's like, listen, don't expect anything from us. You've got to guarantee that you get the best and you become the best you could be in terms of the knowledge you acquired, because that's the only thing that's going to take you places. And that's true.
That is true. And
that's true as my story. Yeah. First time I traveled in my life was a sponsored trip to Malaysia to do educational robotics with Mohiba. It's a program that's here for gifted students. Then the next year I went as a supervisor. Then times go, I become the first in the province. I get a scholarship to go study at McGill. the university #1 in Canada because of my excellence in studying. So it has been consistent in my life that if you become the best you could ever be in any situation you're in, you will always go to the better option. You will always be chosen to represent. You will be chosen as the one who can do an X and Y and Z. And it has consistently been the truth of my life. Be the best you could ever be in whatever you want to do. Really, whatever you want to do. As long as you're authentic and aligned with yourself, and you really, really strive every day to become better and better and better. And this is what I do for my employees at the company. The goal is for you to become better every single day. And by you becoming a better person, I know for a fact that the company is going to benefit. It's the DNA of everyone who works. They become really good, and they leave. And I'm so happy. Why? Because I just got a new legend in the market. I don't care.
Yeah.
But they came with the drive. They came with a very clear intention. I told them, this is where we want to go. This is what I want to achieve. And this is how you could be the person. Please take your time and make sure you're always getting the knowledge and the skills you need to be there. It's always the same. Whether it's a person, a brand, or a human, or an employee, it doesn't matter. If you strive to become better every single day, there's no way that time passes and you don't become better, especially if you're taking action.
I agree. And I think the hardest part for a lot of people to hear this, because I think many people don't have this mindset, and they don't have this mindset of they want to be better, but they're not taking that action, right? They're not doing things about it. They want.
I know why.
Why?
Because they think the action has to be so dramatic that it changes their life on overday. Like overnight, boom, I'm a better person.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that at all. You could have the grit. I remember we had a client, Nicole Benisti. It's a fashion line in Canada, and it was during Corona, so their samples didn't arrive from China because there was no shipment sent to Montreal. And during the break for Christmas at the time, they wanted from us as the agency, to actually sew the jackets 3D online, create a runway, and get the model running on the runway of the jacket that basically got sewn 3D online, like on the program, like virtually. And I spent 2 weeks every single day in the agency, sleeping, waking up, getting the work done, sleeping, waking up, getting the work done. And by the end of the 2 weeks, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But I can tell you now how patterns and jackets and the pressure of the cotton inside is extremely important to the super high-end jackets.
Yeah.
So that grit also doesn't always give you the best result that you want. But you will learn a lot of skills. I learned how to create virtual environments. I learned how to sew jackets, right?
Yeah.
I learned what it means to do coloring and create samples of material, and what it means to make it as an actual 3D on a texture. It's like a whole different world because I really wanted to learn. I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm attached to the learning. And this is what you really have to focus on. It's not the outcome that you're going to create. You want to create videos, create amazing videos. Who cares about the outcome of the video? Does it get 1,000 views or 100,000 or 100 million? Nobody cares. But you should care that this video was better than the one you made yesterday. This video delivered better value than the one you did last week. This is what you really have to think of. Because now I'm having a conversation with you with all the knowledge that I have basically worked on my YouTube channel for the past year and a half. And now I can summarize all that's been on my episodes, right?
Yeah.
All that knowledge that I had learned in every single episode, I would read a book, an article, watch a couple of videos. Now I'm having a conversation with you and I'm recalling lines from the episodes. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Even the first episodes, which I think is not absolutely amazing, now I can reproduce that in this conversation. So if you focus on your actual learning and your actual growth and your actual development, the result doesn't matter. Because whatever is in here, nobody's going to take it away from you.
That mindset is so good because I think many people think outcomes. Not just people, content creators, brands.
No.
We all think outcomes. And as a result, and we actually said this off air earlier, is once you hit an outcome, financial, life, whatever, there's always a new goal. There's always a next step. So if you're chasing an outcome, if you're just chasing that one thing, you're never going to truly be fulfilled, right? Like, whether you're trying to make more money, whether you're trying to grow a brand, whether you're trying to find a purpose or something, if you're not trying to learn, there's not another reason behind it, or you're not trying to serve in a way that gives more to people's lives, then you're just going to stop eventually anyway and give up.
Absolutely. I can't agree more. But I think a very small thing here to remember, an outcome is an image of your future self. This is how I like to see it. I don't like to see it as a number on a bank or in the balance sheet in the company or in accounting or tax to be paid or whatever it is. I like to see it, what is the image that I'm creating for this brand? So if I can imagine that image vividly, I can easily reverse engineer creating it. From that outcome to today, what are the steps that we need to take? And it becomes just a simple thing that needs to be learned, whether it's skills or knowledge. A lot of people think about the outcome as an infinite goal that life is going to end afterwards. But in reality, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You put a goal, you hit it, you achieve more than it, you don't achieve it, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But in business, it really matters because you have a balance sheet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you making money or are you losing money? The truth is, if you're really, really committed to the experience itself of learning, whether it's skills or knowledge or both, you will become more valuable. What does that do to you? It increases your price in the market. So if my first year I make $1 million, my second year should be easily $4 million. Because throughout the journey of making the first $1 million, you became a lot more valuable. And now you can price much better services. You can price much better experiences. Hopefully you built better connections.
Of course, yeah.
Right? And from that, you can actually monetize more. And you have also made a couple of wins. So your portfolio, your story, the stories you tell, become more vivid and more real and more relatable. I worked with this client, we did this for them. I worked with this client, we did this for them. So your closing rate should also become higher. So in your first year, you're closing 10, 20% of the people you're talking to. Your second year, hopefully you're at 40%. You should be better closer.
Yeah.
You should know the right client also before you even talk to them. So that self-learning or that self kind of improvement that you go through as a journey, if you are a solopreneur, just doing your own business, you become so valuable that now you can actually increase your prices and hire someone else to be full-time to help you in the beginning of the journey. And if you give them the same mindset that you have, which is continuously developing, in a year they become extremely valuable. And guess what? They're undervalued. So you want the right people who you can keep and not necessarily give them the right amount of money, because that's your profit margin. As a business, this is not the most amazing conversation.
Yeah.
Right? You really want to pay people how much they deserve. But as a business, your goal is to get people to actually give more value. And what you're doing is you're investing in them. Their training, their learning, their development, and all of that, you're investing in them so they can actually become more valuable to the marketplace. Not to you. You don't owe them.
Yeah.
So they basically belong to the marketplace. And if you continuously make sure that they're becoming better, becoming more valuable, whether they're loyal or not, it's not in your hand, but at least you've done your part of building humanity.
Yeah.
People in your job are having an amazing time. They're proud of what they're doing. They're enjoying the process of doing it. And when they make a mistake, it's not the end of their life. It's a lesson that they have learned, and now they will never make it again. And they will make sure that nobody else makes it. So when you create that culture in your company, you get to a point where you're really, really not necessarily profitable by default, but at least everyone is having an amazing time and doing 100% or even 120 or 150 or even 200%. That has the potential to be extremely profitable for you.
Of course. And like the way you've described it is the only way that can be done is through good leadership, right? And like you're not micromanaging people. You're trying to give, like you said, they have a certain value. You want to up their value. You want to make them better. You want that growth. And that type of thinking when you have a company is key, not just for a profitable company, but to get that continued success over not 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, not have any dip. Because we say this a lot, right? Not just value in price, but value in people. And like you said, you want to create a legend in the market. You want to make people better. And that only makes your company's reputation so good, but also your reputation as a leader.
100%.
And I think that's a big miss in companies, is pure leadership and growth towards the employees. I think that's missed a lot. It's ended up being, I like to say the comparison of, there's a difference between a manager and a leader. You know, there's someone that will manage you and tell you what to do, and a leader you'll serve them, they'll serve you, they'll build you up until, like you said, you're ready to move on and create better value somewhere else. And where do you think the biggest difference is from a manager to a leader here?
It lies in many different areas. Just trying to find the categories that could be seen. So I believe leadership first is modeling. So are you really doing what you're saying? That's very important. Because if you say amazing things and you're not doing it, people see through it in no time. So that is, for me, number one. Number two, the relationship you build with your team, I personally think shouldn't be about work only. It should be about their life. Their work is most likely going to be the most active hours in their day. And if the most active hours in their day is not happy hours, you just affected all of their life.
Yeah.
So you really have to think as a leader, what is the lifestyle I'm creating for my employees? And if whatever lifestyle you're creating, are you compensating it properly? Because you could have an amazing culture and not necessarily compensate people very well. People will be fine. Or you can have a very stressful environment like consulting companies, right?
Yeah.
And you just well pay them and people will be fine. So it's a matter, by the end of the day, humans are not machines, right? They have emotions. They justify everything that happens to them. Self-justification is always happening. And whatever they're in, if you give them enough reasons to justify, then you'll be fine. That's in terms of the relationship you build with them. Now, in terms of the company and the structure, I personally think the future is for companies that doesn't have a lot of layers. So manager, director, VP, all of these layers. The future is going to basically destroy these. It's going to be business units with one layer. Maybe a manager and a couple of people under them, and a manager and a couple of people under them. And it becomes just business units that are executing the work without these layers of, let's say, management, middle management, all of these. It's a waste of time, and the future is not going to allow it, because the future is for the agile brand. And if a brand has so many layers, it means there's no agility.
Yeah.
And if you have no agility, it means your leadership doesn't exist. Leadership now happens in agility. And when you get people to become agile, you are basically leading how they justify this agility, this change, this development, this new thing they need to do, this new product they need to develop. Versus a company structure and a lot of approvals from everyone around to get things done, where the competitor startup has already put the products in the market, and your big brands is still getting the approvals of what the copyright is going to be.
Yeah.
So agility is extremely important for you as a leader, to be agile, to be actually moving, and to actually be competent in what you're actually doing. Back, you could hide behind an agency or behind a consulting company or behind whatever that's executing the work and say they didn't do it. Now, everything is really quick. Yeah. Brand going to markets, products being launched, PR campaign, marketing campaign, whatever it is, everything's just crunched to like a very shorter amount of time. So a leader has to really be able to say, here's the direction, here's what needs to be, this is what needs to be done, and this is the timeline, go ahead and do it. And they have to be competent enough that if everyone fails, they can actually step in and execute it. Because if they can't, they will be so scared that they cannot delegate.
Man, that's deep, because it's so true.
And that's medicine, by the way. So if you have a consultant who's in a surgery and you're a student doing the surgery, they will let you do. But if you make a mistake, they'll tell you, step down, and they will fix it and continue the
There's no pressure on them because they know that they can just do it.
They can fix it.
That's so good.
So as a leader, you really have to understand that you really need to be competent and know if something goes wrong, to not put pressure on people and say, you know what, guys, you tried your best. This is how it could be done. This is how I would have done it. And you would do it, and that's it. What's happening is there's no freedom for the teams to be creative, at least in my industry, right? The marketing.
Yeah.
And there's no creativity under stress.
Mm.
The future is for the creators,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you're a creator and you put in stress on yourself, automatically you have no creativity. Automatically you don't have that novelty effect in your personal brand. So what I would say to any leader, if you really want to be a leader, whether you're a personal brand or you have a team, be competent enough. Again, we go back to the same value, that you can handle any mistake anybody makes. And be competent enough that you can see it coming.
That's even harder.
100%. But you can see, because you've met those people.
Or you've been through it.
And obviously you've been through it, but you can't be through everything. But you can see. There's a book by Malcolm Gladwell called Blink. And the idea of the book is, if you know something so well, you can predict its direction. And he gives the example of the coaches for tennis players. He will know his player is going to fail at the moment he throw the ball. Oh, he's going to fail. His stance, his leg is this, his hand is this, whatever it is, they know it's not going to go across, for example. Or they will know this is an ace.
Damn.
So being extremely competent, being very, very well-rounded in whatever you do is way, way better than getting a title you don't deserve. It will destroy you. Yeah. It will literally destroy you.
That's true.
And that's what personal brands sometimes do. They will position themselves somewhere they can't sustain. They just fail.
Yeah.
Because they're in a position, I'm this. In reality, they're not. They cannot fake it for too long.
That's true. And you see it so much in like...
It used to be a lot more than now.
Yeah. People are getting better and adapting. Yeah. And I think, look, like, I've sat back so much because I've learned so much from this, because it's amazing. Like, the knowledge you have in your industry is so good, and you've put in the hours and hours of work to build an incredible agency, right? And build an incredible brand and help so many brands grow even better, or content creators grow even better. And the way you speak with so much passion shows how much experience that you've actually been through. Like, you're not just a say it guy. You can tell you just know it to the T. And I think that's amazing, right? But what do you do to switch off for yourself? What do you do outside of work?
I pick up my camera and go take pictures. Okay. I love that.
Because that's where it all started.
That's where it all started.
Yeah.
For me, I think there's so much beauty in our life. And now I just have like my new son, like a little son, and taking pictures of him, just spending time with him. It just gives me a whole different depth of what life means. You can work really hard. You can work really late. I came from the office straight to here, by the way. And all of that adds meaning to me regarding what am I leaving behind in the world? What's the legacy I want to create? What kind of value I want my child when he grows to see his father has actually done. For me, that is way, way better than me doing anything else. Because I think we come to this life for a very short amount of time. And we don't really get to, how can I say? We don't really get to choose what our parents have chosen for themselves, right? We don't get to choose how the future is going to be, right? But we have a choice every single moment in our life on what we want to do and what we don't want to do. And I always focus on that. If I have a project that I need to execute, my focus is going to be 100% diving into that. And how can every single moment I have be dedicated to getting the best possible outcome? It doesn't have to be on me. It could be on the team and developing them. It could be on a new tool that I need to learn. It could be developing a new AI to do something that I think could easily be automated or solved by a new technology. It's to learn more skills and knowledge so I can add more value and leave more value behind. This for me is extremely enjoyable. I really, really enjoy learning.
I realize, yeah.
I really enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it because I come from a really small village called Al Saib in Al Qasim. It's a very small village. The school has 12 students in it.
Oh, wow. That's very small.
It's really small. So coming from that and getting my moms to tell me, Ameer, knowledge is the only thing that's going to get you whatever you want. And it became part of the pattern of everything. And it continuously reinforces. And this is something a lot of personal brands don't have the patience for, is a small win is going to build a small win, is going to build a small win and a small win and a small win. And as time passes, all those small wins gives you confidence to take a bigger challenge, to learn more, to challenge yourself even a little bit further. What's on the other side? Neglect. Right? And this is in your world. Oh, it's full. So they know what's better. They don't do it. Right? They know what they should be doing, and they just don't. So neglect over time. You neglect the first time. You neglect the second time. You neglect the third time. What are you losing? You're losing trust in yourself. Right?
Yeah.
In marketing, it's the same. You neglect doing your first campaign. You neglect your second, third, fourth. Right? Now, all of a sudden, you don't even trust that your brand is worth marketing for. Same concept. For yourself, if you didn't do your first podcast, felt really good about it, did your second podcast, felt bad about it, you didn't care, did the third podcast, right?
Yeah.
So that consistency will always give you better results than waiting. And I always tell it to personal brands, waiting until you have the right equipment, you have the right team, you have and you produce 10 episodes in one day, and by the end of it, you're like, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And the content doesn't feel really, really authentic and alive because you just rushed through the whole thing.
That's true. And I think that concept is everywhere in life, right? Like the neglect of something. And in my industry, it's neglecting a habit, neglecting your fitness, neglecting your health, right? And I think as soon as you focus on not taking an action in this in any way forward, that is in your brain going to be like, I can't trust myself to even just take a small step.
100%.
So when you come to that thing, how can I expect to take 1,000 steps in a day? Like you said, just that example of doing this campaign, and then feel burnout. Of course you're going to be burnt out. You haven't even built, it's like a muscle. You haven't even built up to be able to be like, oh man, this is easy.
Absolutely.
There was this, I just saw a clip of Alex Hormozy he was talking about, he brought in a new marketer.
Okay.
And he said, we had a meeting and we said to the new guy in charge, we're going to go through what is the first thing that we need to focus on. He said we had an 8-hour meeting chatting about everything. And he went, awesome, let's do it. And then he went, okay, what's next? And he said that the guy that was working for him just had his reality of work ethic completely changed in real time, because he's probably thinking, oh, I'm done. Whereas Alex Hormozy's like, okay, we've solved one issue. Let's go straight into the next because we're here now already. And he said, I saw this guy realize that the way we work here is completely different where he's ever worked. And it's the same thing there, right? Like if you're not used to building it up over time, you're going to get that shock effect.
Absolutely.
And you know me, I'm a big believer in health and fitness, right? And big believer in mental and physical health coming together in business. And something that I struggle with massively right now is getting them both together still, right? Because someone that was in the gym training to compete 3-4 hours a day and then working to now being like, okay, I have these goals, but the main goal is business.
Absolutely.
Right? And it's always that balance.
Yeah. I don't believe in balance.
Yeah. You're always gonna find one way and then come the other.
Unfortunately, I think there's a big sell of the balance between work and life and all of that. But the truth is, balance means you're halfway.
Yeah.
My dad says if you hop in a car, go halfway to anywhere, you didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
It's just you gotta start somewhere and end.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the idea of balance is very personal. So you could be very, 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 you're destroying yourself, working day and night, doing your exercises and doing your work, and you go back home and you feel you're balanced, right? Somebody else doing the exact same thing goes home and feels destroyed.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really, really about perspective. So do you feel happy about your balance? Do you feel it's giving you the results that you want? Because this is what matters by the end of the day, right? So if you have a coping method, let's say your coping method is to do a run, a 5K run, or even a walk, or whatever it is. That is your coping method with the stress of your work. That's fine. It's working for you. It's giving you good results. Amazing. Somebody else's coping method is to do, I don't know, stairs for 30 minutes, right? At the end of the day. So they forget everything and they just go home barely walking, right?
Yeah.
So it depends on what is the actual coping method. So in the healthcare world, right? So there's effective coping and ineffective coping. So you also have to assess how are you coping with all of that. Are you smoking? Are you eating, binge eating? Are you fasting all day and just eating a very heavy meal and just destroyed and you just go to bed? Whatever is your coping method, just do a bit of analysis and see, is this something you want to sustain? This is what I like, my philosophy. Can I sustain this?
Same thing, is that consistent? Can I be consistent with this for weeks, months?
Absolutely.
Years?
Can I eat shawarma every day? No.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So can I do a run every day?
Maybe depending on the run, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So what is that I can keep consistently doing? That's my philosophy in terms of balance. And over time, this is the beauty of it, is you will continuously develop. Right? So I used to take, let's say, I don't know, maybe 2 months to learn a new tool. It will take me 2 weeks now.
True.
Why? Because there's cross-learning. So you learn this, you learn that. Now there's something in between. You will learn it a lot faster.
Yeah, true.
Right?
For yourself, as a business owner, and like I'm a big believer in as well. Like when I said the word balance, I think what I really should have said is priorities. Is because how can you prioritize everything and still get both goals where I want to be?
Absolutely.
And for yourself, right? Like I'm a believer that everyone should be doing something every day in terms of physical activity.
Absolutely.
And I think it helps decrease stress from work. Even if you love it and you're so passionate like yourself that it's all you think and all you do and it's 24/7. Even when you're at the gym, you're probably, thinking of it. I know I am still. What do you like to do for exercise to help de-stress you?
Tennis. Tennis at 5 a.m.
At 5 a.m.
Only time I have. Literally from 5 to 6 or from 6 to 7.
Damn.
And that's the only, and it's the best because I wake up at, let's say, 4:30 or 5:30, depending.
I'm looking at the time, I'm thinking, bro, you better go to bed.
No, it's okay. And sometimes I wouldn't. Like today, I wasn't able because last night my kid was crying. And I just stayed, I was like, okay, cancel the morning. It's fine. And that's real life, right? I can't tell you, every day I go play tennis. It's not the reality.
Yeah.
So if the time allows, if I went to bed early and I'm able to do that, I will go and do the tennis, enjoy it, embrace the hell out of it, right? And feel like I've done my part. But if my day doesn't allow, I would just go for a walk.
Yeah, true.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's the energy that's remaining. Because I don't think you can build a legacy or do something incredibly amazing without making any sacrifices.
Yeah.
And I understand that sometimes sacrifice could be my short-term health prioritizing, as you said. Right? I am okay with that.
Yeah.
And I know, can I sustain this? Absolutely not. But if I have a phase where I have to push and prioritize getting things done versus prioritizing my health, I have no problem with that. And I'm okay with it. So I think people need to understand that you really need to be okay with the outcome you choose.
Yeah.
And just be really, really fine with it. Because if you don't, you will be, as Jim Rohn says, you will be on the beach worrying about work, or you will be at work thinking about the beach.
Yeah.
And either way, you're not enjoying either of the two.
True.
So just be in the moment, get the best out of it. If you have the privilege, and I hope one day everyone has the privilege, and I think with the technology and the development, we might get to a point where we don't have to work as much to create legacies. Then yes, please do whatever that makes you consistently able to do and live as long as you could be, at least with a good quality of life, right? Because by the end of the day, I go back to the same message. We're here for a very short amount of time. We want to create something that outlasts us, at least for me. And that journey is going to cost me a lot of things if I want to see it as a cost, but I think it's an investment.
I agree. And I think you have to invest in the things that you want to make a priority to yourself.
Absolutely.
And
there's no ideal.
yeah, I want you to give me a bit of advice right here, because as a business owner as well, like, and you're way ahead of me, but I know you're just as obsessed as what you do. I find it incredibly hard to switch off. What I mean by that is I'm like, I don't think, even when I'm on vacation, like I've been on vacation and I'm still thinking. Like I'm not always working, but I'm thinking about the next thing or thinking of ideas, and I write it down or something. Is that fine? Would you say that's okay? Are you the same?
That's not fine. That's actually beyond fine.
Okay.
That's a must.
Okay.
As an entrepreneur, you're solving a problem, and hopefully you're solving it better than everyone else.
Yeah.
That's how you become successful. So I think sometimes people just overjudge themselves. This is what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of my wife is delivering a baby. I'm setting up the camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who cares? That it's part of who you are.
Okay.
It's part of what you want to do. It's part of the things you believe in. It's part of the things that you want to improve and leave behind. Not everyone has that passion. Not everyone has that drive. So if you look at the market, they're all going to tell you, oh, no, what's wrong with you? No.
Yeah,
That's who you are. That's your authentic character. That's what you actually want to create. That's what you actually want to do. If you're aligned with it, stop judging yourself.
True. I think it's hard because, like you said, I don't judge myself in terms of I hear other people say stuff like, oh, you should relax or whatever. Like, I can take an hour. I can take a couple of hours. Then after that, my brain's gone again.
Absolutely.
But
I take 15 minutes nap.
Yeah. But then
the best part of the day. Then I wake up and I'm ready for a new idea, to execute something, to learn something, to watch a video, to read a book, whatever it is. I don't think there is a reference point for anyone on what should be done and what shouldn't be done. It's what you are aligned with. It's what you believe is serving you. It's what, when you go to bed, you take a deep breath and you feel, I had an amazing day.
Yeah.
This is what really matters. There's no right and wrong. Every time, in every place, in every person, in every culture, in every, whatever you say, read in the history and see how people used to live and how the life we live today. We're living the lives of the ultra kings back in time.
I was going to say that as well. Right? It's true, yeah.
And we're better than them.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't matter what's your reference point. You shouldn't have a reference point. You should have, am I aligned? Am I okay? Do I feel in myself? Do I feel comfortable? Do I feel really I'm being my authentic character? Because this is what matters as an actual entrepreneur. You're solving a problem and every day you're finding a better way. You're learning about somebody else who's solving the same problem. You're learning their ways. You're developing your way. And there's no better way, really. Because you could bring better ways that doesn't work for you.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Right? Somebody tells you, go in sales, talk to people, call 100 people a day. But you're not good at calling people every day. You're much better at building a relationship, then closing the deal and have a client for a very long time.
Yeah.
That's your way and it's fine. Just be okay with it, embrace it, and whatever works, try to improve.
Yeah.
That's the human way. You are not machines, and you will see a trend in the future that there's a lot more going back into being human.
Yeah.
Right? A lot more into less digital, a lot more than human-centered. Right? Because the brands that focus on product create products nobody wants to buy. Yeah. Good products for the engineers who created them, not for the user who actually wants to have a good experience with the product. So I think it's really, really important to remember that. Because a lot of entrepreneurs, they have a benchmark. I want to be the Elon Musk. No.
Yeah.
No one in history is going to be another Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Or Jeff Bezos. Why? Not because of their characters, but because of the time and place they were.
Yeah. It's everything. Yeah.
So it's not just who you are. It's the timing. It's the idea. It's the solution. It's what you are actually providing to the world. So if you follow that path, then whatever you're doing today could make you the future Elon Musk. If you actually focus on being the best that can ever be solving that problem.
Yeah.
and continuously be that, this will make you feel content about your life.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
And I think that's a big thing of everyone is going to be different, but it's that one word, do something that makes you feel content with your life. Because whether that be like the way we're saying, being better, learning more, doing these things.
Or not.
Or not. Some people aren't like that, and that's okay.
That's fine. If they're okay with it, who cares?
Yeah. It's that
I have 5 sisters younger than me. I always tell them, you don't have to be crazy like me.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
It's fine. But I would love it. I'm like, if you really want to, you could have been. If you need help, ask me. I'll be more than happy to help you. But don't judge yourself for not being me.
Yeah.
This means the same. Don't judge yourself for not being the Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or whatever that you want to see as your actual role model. What you need to see is like, okay, they got there. How did they get there? Can I get that?
Do I want that? I think that's another question. Do I really want that? Because
but you will realize that through action.
Yeah.
Right? I personally think action comes first, then reflection.
Yeah.
Not thinking, then action.
Yeah.
Action, reflection, action, reflection, action, reflection. And you continuously take an action and reflect on it. Does this feel aligned with me? Does this feel like something I want to do again? Does this give me the result I want to get? That reflection after action gives you a real feedback loop. Thinking before action is just a waste of time.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy.
And
do something, see.
Yeah.
Do it, see it. Do it, see it, and reflect on it, and you will continuously develop like this.
I agree, because I think when you said if you think before you do, you're always going to think emotionally rather than logically. Because you're always going to think, how am I going to feel? What's it going to be like? And rather than thinking, I don't even know the outcome.
You know what's my philosophy of this? If you're thinking about it, it's not important. Because if it's important enough, you would have taken an action.
That's true.
Because I'm a person who's against thinking.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just a waste of time. I'll think about it. You'll never do it.
Yeah, that's true. And I want to give you an example of that, right? So I always wanted to do a podcast and I loved it, right? And I wanted to connect with people, create value in the discussions to make people better. And I was doing the radio and I was like, I can't do both, right? So I was doing the radio part-time plus business. And the radio was ending and I was like, right, let's just start now. Literally within a week, I recorded a podcast.
Amazing.
Because I was like, I don't want to stop. And I'm like, someone was like, aren't you annoyed or upset? Or, it's come to an end, it's great. And I was like, no, now I can just continue what I'm doing in the
just transitioned.
Exactly. And
different medium, different style, different language. It doesn't matter.
But it's more you, right? It's more what you want.
100%.
And I think people, as soon as you know what you want, like, are you doing this just to have something, or are you doing this for a reason? That reason, no matter what, even if it's something stops, you're going to go to it.
Absolutely. And I think another element here building on this is you will realize the value you're giving over time more and more and more.
Yeah.
And you will be attached less to what you are building, and you will be attached more to the knowledge you're gaining. For me, this is the biggest realization out of doing the podcast.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was to answer the CEOs and the CMOs who used to be in the holding company.
Yeah.
What can I do? What should we do? What should we do? And I used to write down the questions, and I bought a mic, and I would just record it, upload it, and send them the link. Here's the answer to your question. And I send it to everyone.
Yeah.
Then one more. And one day I get a notification from Chartable. It's a platform that ranks your podcast. You're the number one in Saudi. I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah, I'm just answering questions. Yeah,
I'm just answering questions very clearly in a very short episode. So what happened is, it showed that people are completing the episode and actually listening once and twice and 30 times.
Yeah.
So for them, wow, who is creating content that people watch and listen to a couple of times? That ranked me really high.
Yeah.
Second one, and I used to do one every single day.
Yeah.
And it was audio only, so I would record it, publish. You go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you will find it.
Yeah.
About marketing basics. And through that, I realized I'm falling in love with actually learning more and simplifying. Learning more and simplifying. Because I realized there is a big gap in the simple Arabic marketing knowledge on the internet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who complicate it, so they sell you a course by the end of it. Or make it like, oh, this is the biggest thing in the world, and I'll buy my $19 or whatever, right? Then I realized, I'm like, okay, so there's a lot of people that need help. There's no one who's doing it. If I do it, and we just got ranked the number one in Saudi Arabia by Vavicon.
Wow.
I'm literally just learning, simplifying, and publishing the content. So all of that to say, if I put that as my goal, I'll probably never achieve it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because my goal will be like, what content is doing really well? Let me create a double of it and publish it there. That's what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Right? But my focus was, okay, what is lacking?
Yeah.
Those people are looking for content that nobody's publishing. So there's no benchmarking. This is the real opportunity. Is the need that nobody's actually tapping into. Not the content that does really well that I can duplicate and reach a lot of people. Yeah. Because there's a lot of alternatives. Alternatives means what? Less commitment.
Yeah.
Same thing in relationships. You have alternatives, less commitment.
Yeah, true.
So it's the attachment theory. It's a very old school. Same thing in products and marketing. And can you create something for someone who needs it? So they find it. And when they find it, they will find it and actually come back again and again and again and again, because you're actually fulfilling a need that nobody's filling. So find the things in your industry that you can fill, nobody's doing, you can fill, and there is an actual demand for it. And initially I didn't know. I just did what I thought will be better than just on the phone. Hey, what's your question? Okay, now you do this and this and that. Close. Like, that was a really good answer. I'd rather record that and share it.
Yeah.
With everyone else, because the questions will repeat and you will notice it. Yeah,
it's true. It's always repeat the same thing.
You will have a lot of questions that people ask. What does that mean? They want your take on it. So that's your end. And that's pretty much how marketing basics started.
Yeah.
Basic questions people ask, simplified answers for them, and shared directly with them.
Yeah.
And you have that, and you can at the beginning, you can actually service your clients. And as time passes, there's 1,000 people who are like your clients.
Yeah.
And when you have your first 1,000 people, now you have a really good conversion campaign. 1,000, 110 clients. People actually interested in the exact content you're publishing.
Yeah, true.
That's a marketing funnel.
Literally, it's amazing. And I literally just went off one thing and you took it into one massive thing. And like, this is probably going to be the first podcast that I've made that I'm going to have to watch the whole thing. Just because, just for the value. Like, don't get me wrong. I planned these questions and we went so off tangent, but so valuable that I'm mind blown. And it's incredible because I'm learning so much about marketing for myself.
Amazing.
That I'm going to have to rewatch this because...
Please. I will watch it.
Yeah. Just because of... You've spoken probably 99% of the time, and it's so good for the audience, for your audience, for my audience to really understand if you're a business owner, if you're a content creator, what is the deal with marketing, what to truly do. And I'm like, wow, I can't take that much information in like a 2-hour episode because there's so much value here. Like, I've wrote a few notes, but that's not enough. But honestly, it's been amazing and it's been incredible. And
well, thank you.
The only way we end the show is quick fire questions. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we can't do a 2-hour answer, but we can do a 30.
I'll try to keep that very short.
Yeah. So quick fire questions. What is one branding mistake that you cringe about?
Just hopping on trends without aligning them with your brand value.
What is one thing every Saudi business should stop doing today?
Should stop doing today? It's probably hiring agency for media buying without a strategy.
That's good. And this may be different depending on who, but what is the best platform to build trust with your audience in 2025?
YouTube.
It's just done. YouTube. Okay.
100% YouTube. Trust YouTube. Because it's most likely going to be educational.
That's true. And that long form content, people are just going to trust you so much more. And what is one tip for content creators to start storytelling and changing their brands now?
Tell your story first.
I love that. Your story should be number one, right? It's more relatable.
That's who you are. That's what people are actually following. Then through your story, tell 1,000 stories.
It's amazing. And what is the best advice that you've ever received?
I think be so good they can't ignore you.
Honestly, I love that.
Yeah.
Honestly, this has been an amazing episode. This is episode 11 of Stump Station. It's been amazing to have you. And the value that you've given this is truly amazing. And obviously, your socials, your agency, everything is going to be in the caption so everyone can see and reach out to you, because I think brands are truly going to see the value of this more than anything else.
Alhamdulillah.
No, thank you very much. Thank you.
Pleasure.